Hello again! This is the second video about the virtual reality artwork that I've been creating. The first part is in the video that I published some time ago in spring, and now it's September and it's time to call the artwork finished. In the first part of this two-part video series, I shared how I got started with transferring the visual and expressive language of my paintings into a three-dimensional digital format. There I also presented the first version of my virtual reality artwork. Now, in the second part of the project, I have a new finished version to show you. It's quite different than the first one. I reused the program modules I had made earlier, but did quite a lot of new development as well. At the beginning of the project, my ideas were very concrete. I went through the elements of my paintings and thought about how they could be transferred to three-dimensional motion art. For example, I wondered if a dot in my painting should be a small three-dimensional shape in the digital world, or is it simply a mark for the place where the motion stops? However, over time I found a deeper connection, a connection with my artistic vision. It's more about what kind of worlds I want to build, what kind of atmosphere I want to convey, and what kind of experience I want to bring to the viewer. And in virtual reality, the viewer is also a user, if there's interaction. When painting freely without reference images, it's hard to put everything into words. Of course, I have spoken a lot about it in my online courses, but it's still difficult to explain everything in painting. When I paint, I go beyond words. With a brush in my hand, I feel like an animal that burrows layer by layer deeper into its existence. I'm interested in freedom and its relationship with the past and the future. If I look back at my life, I remember individual moments when I felt free. But if I take a longer perspective, what past generations have done in the world, all the cultural heritage, it's huge and it seems liberating. So much has already been created, and we can just now continue the chain. It feels liberating that art has remained alive for thousands of years. As an individual artist, I can't destroy that beast, no matter what I decide to do. Although I want to connect with the past, I also want to reach the future. And again, not just to my own future, but further. I wonder what things will remain and what will disappear when time passes. The future is an abstract, unknown land, and that too is liberating. I want to believe in the future of human culture and also in imagination, where all the goodness comes from. When I look back, it was kind of odd that putting these virtual glasses on, it was so weird. And I was actually pretty stressed after a few minutes of virtual reality. It was just too much. But you get used to it when you do it a lot. And nowadays, when I see those glasses, I just feel the need to go inside my artwork and just relax a bit there. And I think that one big difference is that now I've added user interaction. Things that you can do with handheld controllers. And then when I added sounds, the whole thing just changed. While making this virtual reality artwork called Unknown Land, I discovered two important things. The first is that the future always contains something hesitant and groping, something that doesn't feel finished, but still feels like it's born there and belongs there. In my piece, it's music that I've improvised electronically. The background music plays all the time, and single melodies are evoked by the user. One thing that I love in virtual reality is that you can create a big space. And it was a big challenge to me to kind of fill that space. Not only that, but make it so that the user can find her way back to the center and travel freely there. And that is also a big part of the overall experience, that you can move around and you can see all kinds of stuff and still know where's the center and where's kind of home for you. Another important thing I discovered in the project is the connection between freedom and holiness. If you think about the past and the future, you also have to think about change. What changes, what stays, what you respect and what you want to break. Then the holiness begins to stand out. In every era, there's something sacred. And even if what's sacred changes, the general human longing for sacred is always permanent. The atmosphere of my virtual reality artwork is thus not only immersive but also sacred. When moving in the space between big objects, the user is forced to look up. Even though the name is Unknown Land, I wanted to keep the earth simple and emphasize the sky. The future's land may be unknown, but the sky will remain inviting. This project lasted a year and took up half of my working time. Most of the time was filled with learning and experimenting. I struggled with the new tools and spent a lot of time processing my artistic thoughts, which filled a large part of my free time as well. Towards the end of the project, I felt happiness about all that I had learned in such a short time. First, a year felt long, but then now when I look back, it's just a short time to learn these kind of new things. Even though I'm much further along as a painter than as a new media artist, making media art has strengthened my artistic vision. Now I have more to express, so to draw, to paint, to model, to code and to compose. My artistic journey continues and it's more versatile than ever. Thank you for following it, and special thanks to the Finnish Cultural Foundation for enabling this work.